Electricity Minister Kgosientsho Ramokgopa has announced a raft of interventions to ease blackouts. Eskom is implementing stage 3 blackouts at the moment, which will escalate to stage 4 at 4 p.m. Ramakgopa has been speaking at the party's NEC meeting. Our senior reporter Siphamandla Goge is following developments there and joins me now live. Siphamandla, I think South Africans are really waiting to hear what kind of interventions the minister has given the energy crisis and the severe rolling blackouts that we have been subjected to over the past couple of days.
A number of them really, but they are summarized and summed up to 5 proposals of interventions that the Minister of Electricity, who is a member of the National Executive Committee of the governing African National Congress, is proposing. These interventions or proposals are not new. They have been made in the past, but I guess moving forward is the issue of, vigorously accelerating them and ensuring that they are implemented. He started by presenting these to the National Working Committee of the ANC, which is a structure responsible for the day-to-day running of the governing African National Congress. As it is in line with the ANC's tradition, he had to come to the National Executive Committee of the ANC, which is the highest decision-making body in between conferences, and present there to the NEC. That's what he did yesterday. They engaged with his proposals and submissions, and now they will be debating those, and finally the NEC will decide whether to adopt those or just to reconfigure them, rework them. But in the end, one assumes that because these are meant to address the ongoing electricity crisis, they will be adopted. We can only hear from the ANC once they have their media briefing, probably early next week after concluding their NEC meeting on Monday, as to what is the final decision on the proposals and the interventions that have been tabled by the Minister of Electricity. Take a listen to him unpacking some of those proposals and interventions.
We are proposing 5 interventions. The first one is that run the open cycle gas turbines. Really, these are what we call the peaking plants that are meant to close the gap between demand and generation. They are already installed, so the key input feedstock there is the diesel, and we know that in that 18.2% tariff increase that NERSA gave to Eskom, there's about 8 billion rands for that. And also in the relief package that Minister Godongwana gave to Eskom, there's about 22 billion rands. So there's 30 billion that can help us to do this. If you were to ask, have we done it before? Yes, we did it before. 2014 to 2016, we ran them at a 21% load factor. Now we are running them at 11.5. So we think ramp up, and then immediately you begin to see the difference. The second one is on the demand side. You and I, very few of the viewers here, even those who are home with the electricity on, the geysers are running. We say that there's a campaign that Eskom ran 2010, saved them about 3,000 megawatts. Now we've got the benefit of modern technology that allows us to mount this gadget on the DP box, the electric geysers, and we're able to remotely control. Even if you forget you are at work, you can disconnect. We think we can claw back from a savings point of view about anything conservatively 2,500 going up.
So, Siphamandla, hearing these interventions listed by the minister, did he have anything to say about the winter outlook? We have, of course, been told by the minister that units, at various power stations are unreliable, and this could possibly push the country into further stages of rolling blackouts. What does the winter period look like?
One word: bleak. It's not looking good, according to the minister, and he's hoping that together with Eskom they will try and ensure that there are no higher stages of load shedding in winter, but he is not sure whether that will happen or not. So simply put, the winter outlook looks bleak, and they have to do everything to try and avert whatever crisis they can try and avert. I'm trying to check behind me. I think it's a breakaway session now. It's lunchtime as we see the Minister of Environment, Barbara Creecy, who's an NEC member. All these are NEC members. There is the head of ANC Presidency, Sibongile Pesani, and the Provincial Secretary of the Free State, Puledisho Motswening. We see the Mamologo Kupai, who heads the economic transformation of the ANC. That's the subcommittee. There is Dr. Zweli Mkhize, the former health minister, who's the member of the National Executive Committee of the ANC. He was also, contesting to become the president of the governing party. So you will see a number of government ministers who are here in their capacity as NEC members of the ANC. Electricity Minister Dr. Kgosientsho Ramokgopa, together with Pule Mabe and Ronald Lamola, are attending this. Of course, Kgosientsho Ramokgopa having presented and NEC members having engaged with his presentation. We see the provincial chairperson of KwaZulu-Natal, Siboniso Duma, with NEC member that is Dakota Lihuete and Supra Mahumapilo. Supra was the chairperson of the ANC in the Northwest, while Dakota was the provincial secretary of the ANC in the Northwest. On my left here, which my colleague Nokomalachi will show you, Police Minister General Pegicele Bathabile Dlamini, together with Lindiwe Ntshalintshali, former ANC Youth League President Malusi Kigaba, Dixon Masemula, shaking hands there with Dr. Zweli Mkhize. You see the chairperson of the ANC in Limpopo, that's Stan Mathabata, engaging with Dr. Zweli Mkhize. So that's what is happening. Let's take a listen to how the Minister of Electricity, who's the member of the NEC of the ANC, responded about the winter outlook in terms of electricity.
If you look at the modeling, ESCOM says they can, the unplanned capability loss factor, essentially what it says, what we're going to lose as a result of the plant tripping. The best case scenario is 15,000 megawatts. The worst case scenario is 18,000 megawatts. And if you go to 18,000 megawatts, then you are beyond the stage 6 load shedding. So that's why we're saying we want to work with them to keep to the best case scenario. If we trip, I'm the first one to say to the public that now it's getting worse and worse. But yes, the outlook is bleak, and that's why we need to put these measures in place, support ESCOM, get the CEO in place, management stability, get these things running so that we are able to provide relief to the South African economy. It's lives, it's jobs, it's just hunger, and you can see there's despondency. People are frustrated. I mean, they hardly believe what we are saying, and we accept that. Our credibility will be restored in our ability to switch on the lights, and that's the point we're making.
And the country depends on that, so hopefully they'll be able to sort that out as soon as possible.